What's up, guys? It's Jessica with JK Braids, and today I'm going to be sharing my Accutane journey with you. So I started Accutane in January of this year, so about I think January 17th, and it was after I feel like I had tried everything to treat my cystic acne. I believe that my acne is very hormonal. I would only break out here, like most of my scarring is in this area now. Rarely I would get like one big one like up here, but my acne was mainly in my chin and cheek areas, and sometimes even like along my jawline down here. So before Accutane, like since I would say like maybe 2016, that's when it started getting pretty bad. And I had tried antibiotics, I had tried Retin-A, I had tried various topicals from the dermatologist. I was getting facials monthly. I did Rodan in fields. I feel like anything somebody recommended, I would try because I was so desperate to get my skin clear. I was spending thousands of dollars, and I finally hit a wall where I was like, I can't keep doing this. Nothing's working. So in summer of 2019, my skin kind of hit like its worst point, and I know at the time it was very related to stress. But at the same time, I had been breaking out pretty bad for the last 4 years. So in Christmas time in 2019, I went to the dermatologist, and literally as soon as she saw me, she was like, "You need Accutane." And I was kind of like, "Really?" Like I had researched it before, I had talked with some friends who did it before, but I never thought that I would be somebody who would be on Accutane. I kind of just thought it was for like super severe acne, which honestly mine was really severe. Like I wouldn't have scarring like this if it wasn't severe. And when she told me that I needed to be on it, I kind of was like maybe not, like I'll think about it. And she was kind of just like saying like, I really think like you have a lot of inflammation, like it's very cystic, so you've tried other things in the past. But I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I honestly almost wimped out, just because you read stuff on the internet about Accutane and everything is scary. Like everyone talks about how like they had the worst side effects, but honestly, I feel like when you're looking on the internet for like anything medical, it's always people who have the bad side effects who are going to write stuff. It's very rarely the people who had good experiences who write about it. I'm here to share my experience with Accutane because I feel like for the most part, honestly, like it has not been bad at all. It might just be because I like prepared for the worst. Like I was like mentally, I told my boyfriend like, if I turn crazy, like I'm just letting you know it's not me, it's the drugs. And as we all know, like all of our bodies react to drugs in a different way. Like, or all of our bodies react to anything in a different way. Like some people like have awful side effects, and some people are like me who have like very minimal side effects that are like totally manageable. So before you like cancel out Accutane and like just try to like I just recommend trying it because you could always just stop like if your body doesn't agree with it. But if you try it and it's not bad, like I think it's totally worth it. And what motivated me to actually like take the plunge, even though I was scared, and try Accutane, was me hearing someone else's story that I knew. Like we had talked, and she had told me like some of her side effects and like what she used to help and what products she was using, what supplements she was using. And she was like a very health conscious person. And everyone knows that Accutane is hard on your body. It has very like a wide range of pretty intense side effects. It's hard on your liver. So that's what scares most people about trying it out. But just knowing that somebody who is very health conscious and very like probably in tune with her body like I am, that they tried it, it just made me feel better. So let's kind of talk about what Accutane even is. Accutane is basically a huge dose of vitamin A. It's used to treat nodular or cystic acne, which basically cystic acne, if you go like this and you just feel lumps under your skin, that's cystic acne. So it's used to treat acne like that has not been fixed by other treatments like topicals or antibiotics or anything like that. So this extreme dose of vitamin A is known to be very hard on your body, and especially your liver, and it's also known to cause birth defects, and it's also known to cause some pretty bad side effects, including headaches, just general dryness, bloody noses, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. That's honestly what scared me more than like the physical side effects, because I already have a bit of anxiety. So I was just really worried that it was like going to spike with Accutane. And if I'm being completely honest, it helped with my anxiety. Like, I don't know, like, maybe honestly it's probably all in my head, but I just started to feel like, oh my gosh, my skin's clearing up, and I actually got like a lot happier and a lot more confident. So while you're on Accutane, I go through Kaiser. My health insurance honestly sucks. So at first it was pretty expensive. Um, we have to go every month to the dermatologist, and you also have to get blood work done every month. And when you get your blood work done, they're checking, like, they kind of just do a complete panel. Not every time, but they always check for your like cholesterol levels, your triglyceride levels, and you have to do a blood pregnancy test. It's not like a P1, it has to be a blood one. The reason they do the pregnancy test is because you cannot get pregnant while you're on Accutane. Like, if you, like, when you get your pills, every pill that you open has like a pregnant woman with like a circle and a slash. Like, you, like, it, and it also shows like the birth deformities that your baby would have. It's like a very like long head and like missing limbs, and it's just really sad. So you have to be on one form of birth control. So I have like the thing in my arm, and then you also have to use a second form of contraceptives such as condoms. And iPledge is honestly very strict about this. Even if you're single and you're not sexually active, or if you're saving yourself for marriage and you tell them that, like, they don't care. They're like, no, like, we're still putting it on, like, you on it just in case. My friend who is a gay woman who has a girlfriend who literally cannot get pregnant, they still made her get on birth control. So it's just like, they're very strict. So I'm going to share more of like my experience now. So my first month I started at 20 milligrams, which is pretty low. So I'm very happy I started low. Like, I always say, Accutane is a marathon, not a sprint. If you start high and if you just like keep doing higher and higher and higher, that's when you're going to get bad side effects. Your max dose of Accutane is actually based off of your weight. So based off my weight, the highest dose I could take is 80 milligrams. I started at 20, and honestly, like, at first, the worst thing was like I was literally peeling like a snake, and I was still breaking out. My skin was like still oily in my T-zone, but I was peeling so gross. Like, I worked a wedding once, and I don't know if it was because I was using a lot of hairspray and product, but afterwards I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Like, I looked like a snake. It was honestly gross. Like, I was scratched like all over, and there was just skin everywhere. It was really gross. My dermatologist did warn me to expect a purge, which basically means that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. My purge was like, maybe I noticed my acne get a little worse, but I feel like right before I started Accutane, it was honestly already really bad for me. So I feel like it got like, it was just more annoying because I was peeling on top of the acne. Like I said, my first month, my main symptoms were just dryness. Well, not even dryness. It was like I was still oily, but I was peeling. So I guess more like peeling and flaking skin. My lips throughout the whole thing, everyone on Accutane will tell you your lips are like the death of you. Like, even now, they're just always chapped and peeling. Like, it honestly just sucks. Like, I like wake up sometimes in the morning and like they're just bloody. And I put Aquaphor on all damn day, but I will still, they're always like this. It's just annoying. Month 1, I was also getting very minor headaches. But as soon as I would drink water, they would basically go away. Like, I never took like ibuprofen or anything for it. But I think because Accutane is drying everything, I think I was just super dehydrated. So I would recommend just drinking a lot more water than you normally do. I already drink a lot of water, so I was drinking a ton at first. So month 2 started, and I did my blood work before my appointment, and my blood work actually looked great. It went up like a little bit, but honestly very minimal. And my worst side effects then were still just the lips. I started to get more dryness like in my nostrils, inside my nose. It was not like bleeding, bloody noses, which is what a lot of people get. It was more so like the skin was peeling off, and this is really gross, but I swear Accutane boogers are a real thing. My boogers were just like, I felt like I had rocks in my nose. It was honestly really gross. Month 2 also, I started to get very dry eyes, which has honestly probably been my most annoying Accutane symptom. When I was on 40 milligrams, it honestly wasn't that bad. Like, there would be like a couple times at work where my eyes would just get kind of like bloodshot, and like they didn't feel dry, they just felt irritated and like scratchy. But I've never ever have had issues with my eyes before Accutane, so I knew that was why. So I just got those Systane lubricating eye drops, and those actually helped a good amount. Month 2, I also noticed that my skin was just getting like more sensitive, and it would just get like really red easily. Like I would just like touch my face like this, or like even touch my arm, and then afterwards it would almost look like a little like rash. It would go away within maybe like 10 minutes, but my skin had just never done that before. I also got this like really weird rash like right in this area, and that would last for like a couple days. I would just put Aquaphor on it and it would go away, but it was kind of like coming and going, which I thought was weird, but after like a week or so it never came back. So month 3, blood work looked good again, and I got bumped up to 60 milligrams this time. And honestly, with like every time you increase your dose, I do notice the side effects get like a little worse. So my lips started to get more dry. My eyes, this is when my eyes started to get like really bad. Just like super dry all the time. Like I would like be watching TV like. I love month 3 because at this point I finally started to notice clear skin. Like month 2, I started to notice like I still had a lot of acne, but I felt like it had just calmed down a bit more. Like if I would pop a zit, which I know we shouldn't pop zits, but when you have those big white heads, it is so hard not to. I feel like it wasn't like as inflamed, and it would heal a lot quicker. But month 3, I started to notice like a huge change where I wasn't feeling those huge cysts underneath my skin. It finally started to feel smooth. But during this month, I also started to notice that I had a lot more scarring than I ever thought. I thought I would just have like hyperpigmentation and not like craters, and it's honestly not bad, but you could kind of probably, it's kind of hard to tell. I feel like you could see a little bit here, some scarring, and a little bit over here. If I'm in a certain lighting, I could tell a lot more. Like you could kind of see right here more now. But honestly, to me, it's not a big deal. Like I'm just glad my skin is clear. But during month 3, I was actually in Spain, and since Accutane is so hard on your liver, one of the main things that the doctors recommend is like a healthy diet that's actually like low in fat, like not a lot of fast food, like try to eat as healthy as you can or as clean as you can for your liver, and you're also not supposed to drink. I was really strict month 1 and 2 about not drinking, but I mean in Spain I was like, I need to have some sangria or some wine. So I drank 2 days. I noticed afterwards though, when I would drink, I literally I wouldn't get hives, but I would get like these red splotches, which kind of scared me. Like obviously that's scary. And then when I got home from Spain, I had my blood work done like that next week, and it had literally like spiked, like my cholesterol, my triglycerides, and it's because when I was there, I was eating like a lot of jamon, like a lot of cheese, and I drank twice, and that just like your blood work literally shows you that like your diet and not drinking or drinking like makes a huge difference in your blood work. So on month 4, I stayed at 60 milligrams. Definitely didn't go up because my blood work was not. It was still within normal limits, but for me, I could see on the chart that it had like spiked a lot. So I stayed at 60 milligrams, and again, like kind of the same side effects: the really dry eyes, the really dry lips, and by this point, my skin was honestly completely clear. I didn't have any pimples at all during that time. This is where it went a little downhill for me. So I got kind of cocky because I was like, oh, I feel great. Like, let's just up my dose. So during month 5, which is this current month, I'm on month 5 now, I upped my dose to 80. And as soon as I did that, my eyes were like, the first week I got pink eye, and I think it's because they were so dry, like it made an infection. So I got the medicated eye drops from the ophthalmologist. It went away. 2 weeks later, this eye got like super, super red, or all my coworkers were like, ew. Like, so I tried putting my leftover antibiotic drops. It did not help at all. So, and there was this one, when I had pink eye, it was crusty and gross. This one was just like super red, and nothing was helping. My Systane drops weren't helping. So finally, one of my coworkers recommended the Lumify drops, and those were like literally magic. Like it turned my eye from bright red to bright white within 30 seconds. It was insane. So that was helpful, but because of my eyes, the main reason I had to go back down to 60 because it was too much. Like my skin was so dry. Like I started kind of peeling again, and I think my eyes were the worst. So I'm going to talk about some of my supplements that I took while on Accutane. My favorite, I could not live without Aquaphor while on Accutane. Like, it is just the lotion of the gods. It's literally like a normal lotion that's used to treat like dry and cracked skin, dry hands and cuticles. It actually says chapped lips too. They have like a chapstick version, and then they have this big version. And then at Target, I actually got like in the travel section a little smaller version too. But this kind works way better than the one that's for your lips. So I know it looks weird like putting lotion on your lips, but this is the main thing that is going to help you during Accutane for your lips, for any dry spots, for anything. In the beginning, I was even putting this like on my face because my skin was so dry. My second thing I'm going to recommend is the Cetaphil Daily Moisturizer or Daily Hydrating Lotion. It's for, make sure you get the one for dry and extra dry skin. Anytime I get out of the shower, my face feels like this, like it's so tight, and like I like run to my Cetaphil to put it on. I know like a lot of people like in the skincare field do not like Cetaphil and stuff, but it is so gentle. You have to use gentle stuff when you're on Accutane because, like I said, your skin is very, very sensitive. I think this was perfect for me. Another one that I liked was my vitamin C serum, which is supposed to help with scarring, so hopefully it kicks in soon. But this one is just Avalon Organics. I got it on Amazon. It was like $11. It is not expensive at all, so I liked this one. One of my favorite products is this, it's rosehip oil. So rosehip oil is supposed to help with scarring as well, and it's literally just like pure oil. So when I was so dry, I would put it like on top of my moisturizer, and it just felt very nice. This one's the Accure brand. There we go. So this one's the Accure brand. It's very inexpensive. I think this thing was like also like around $10-ish. And it's like pure rosehip oil. It's not mixed with anything else. So I highly recommend this one. I got this on Amazon, but they also have it at like natural stores like Whole Foods, Sprouts, Mother's Markets, any of those. Another product that I have loved while being on Accutane is my Kula sunscreen. I do not have it with me right now. I would show you, but I'll put a little picture of it up. Kula is awesome. It is not a small business, but because they're growing really big, but they're based out of San Diego, and all of their products are all organic, all natural, and it is like the only facial sunscreen that I have used that does not make me feel like greasy or that it's like super heavy or that like makes me break out. I put it on every morning before I put my makeup on now, put on my face and my neck, but basically Accutane makes you very photosensitive, meaning that you're more prone to getting sunburns. So the first couple months I didn't really notice me getting more sunburnt than usual. Like I was able to I kind of tested it because like you're not supposed to lay out. But I would still put on like SPF 70 like everywhere, and I wouldn't really get sunburnt. But now that my dosage is higher, when I do lay out, I can't really lay out anymore. I have to like put a ton of sunscreen on, and I also have to like after like 30 minutes I have to cover myself up because I could just feel like my skin getting very hot and sunburnt. When I first started Accutane, like I had this like big array of products, but honestly like that is what has worked for me. I don't think you need to spend like a crap ton of money on all these fancy products. That's kind of what I did. I was like, oh, I need this and this and this, but keep it simple, keep it gentle, and honestly, like those were good for me. For a cleanser, I also just used like a very, I think it was Accure, just like Accure brightening cleanser, and it was just gentle and worked for me. And I talked about this earlier, but for my eyes, the main thing that helped were the Accutane lubricating drops. Make sure they are lubricating because your eyes are dry, they need lubrication. And the Lumify ones are the ones that helped with the redness. As for the supplements, I mainly just use like all natural supplements and just vitamins and stuff, nothing crazy. Basically, we all, like I said, Accutane is hard on our body, hard on our liver, so I was trying to use anything natural to kind of combat that and fight that. So my first supplement that I took or currently take is turmeric. These are just from Target. They are each 500 milligrams, and I would take 2 a day. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory, so that's why I take it. So the next one I used is milk thistle. Milk thistle is supposed to help liver function. So basically what it says is it offers nutritional support for healthy liver function, and it helps prevent free radical damage to liver cells. So like I said, Accutane is hard on your liver, so I was just using this to kind of help fight that. And I just took one of these a day. My next one is just a probiotic. I get this one at Sprouts. Sprouts usually has pretty good deals on probiotics. It's the Garden of Life, and it's for women. Um, I There is no proof of this technically, but they say that Accutane can cause IBS in the future. So I just wanted to like keep my gut health happy and healthy. Also, um, a lot of acne is caused by gut issues. So I just like taking a probiotic a day to try to prevent any issues. And the last one that I took is just vitamin E. Vitamin E is just good for your skin, and because I was so dry, I just wanted vitamin E to help with that. Make sure if you're taking any like women's vitamins or any multivitamins, you do not take anything that has vitamin A in it. Since Accutane is already such a huge dose of vitamin A, you do not want any extra vitamin A in your supplements. You can eat foods that have vitamin A, like carrots and stuff like that, but you just don't want to have too much of it since your body is basically already like overdosing on it. Another product that I have loved while on Accutane, honestly, like I don't know what I've done without it, is I'll put a picture of it because I don't have it with me now. It's like this little like exfoliant thing, and you put your cleanser in it, and then you put a sponge in it, and you just like gently go around. It doesn't like vibrate or anything. You just gently go around. I had so much skin that like I needed that to remove my skin. So like I would literally look forward to like going home at night and just like getting all that dead skin off. So highly recommend it because you don't want to use an intense exfoliator because your skin will be so red and irritated afterwards. This one was very gentle and like did not really irritate my skin at all. Some do's and don'ts for Accutane. Like I talked about earlier, try your very best to eat healthy. Obviously, none of us are perfect. Like none of us are going to eat clean all of the time. But like I said, it really showed in my blood work when I wasn't eating as healthy. And then like the month after I got back from Spain was when like coronavirus and quarantine first started. So during that month, I was working out like every single day. I was cooking every meal, wasn't eating any processed meals, and my blood work went like boom, like way back down to healthy levels. So it kind of just shows you like diet and exercise and just like living a healthy lifestyle while on Accutane, that's really going to help you out. Try not to drink. I know it's so hard, like especially like social events. It's so hard for me to say like sorry guys, like I can't drink. But just think of your liver, like think of the long-term effects, like you don't want to have any liver issues in the future. Another tip is when you take your pill, try to take it with a healthy fat, like peanut butter, almond butter, or avocado. That's usually what I will use. Accutane is actually fat soluble, so it means that it absorbs better into your system when eaten with fats. Some other tips I recommend is kind of just being your own advocate with your doctor. Like if you feel like you're like a small girl and they're like, oh, we're going to start you off at 60 milligrams, kind of be like, okay, that kind of seems like a lot. Like don't be afraid to speak your mind. If you're having bad symptoms, tell your dermatologist. Like they're the number one person that's going to help you out through this. So I know some people are like, will turn to friends and family, but like, no, tell your doctor if something is going on, if you're having bad symptoms, because they could either take you off of it or lower your dose. I know one of my main questions was about cost when I first started Accutane. So like I said earlier, I have Kaiser. I only have like the silver plan, so I don't have, no, actually I have the bronze plan. I downgraded last year. So my insurance is honestly not the best, but luckily my dermatology visits are free because they're with the nurse, not with the doctor. And then also my lab fee every month is $50 for my copay. And then when I pick up my prescription, so the first 2 months it was only $40. The second 2 months, it was like over $200. I was so sad. I was like, what? And then something had to do with my deductible. Once I met my deductible by the fifth month, it went back down to $20. So I think it's just different with everybody's insurance. Obviously, if you don't have insurance, it's going to be a lot more expensive. But I've heard pretty like varying like prices with Accutane based off what insurance you have. One of my main things that I'm going to recommend is joining the Accutane Reddit page. I loved it. It was like so cool seeing like everyone's before and afters, and it just kind of like motivated me to like keep pushing and keep doing it even though I had like some side effects. And it was also cool to see like what other side effects people had, what products people were recommending. It's just like very relatable and very helpful. Accutane struggle. My lip is peeling off right now. Awesome. But um, But my main takeaway with this is I just wanted to show you guys like I am a pretty normal person. I am a health conscious person, and I did Accutane. So it's like it's nice to see like other people that you could relate with, to know like if they did it, I could do it. So I just wanted to share with you some of my symptoms, some of the things that worked for me, and I think we should just try to like normalize Accutane because I feel like a lot of people have taken it, like a ton of people have taken it, and I feel like for some reason people are ashamed to be on it, and there's no reason to be. Like you're just trying to do something that makes you feel better about yourself. If you have any questions for me, you could leave a comment here, or you could DM me on my Instagram, which is at jkbraids. But yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. I would love to chat with you more about your Accutane journey, or if you're about to start, or if you have any questions at all.